Hi, good morning everyone. This is Seah again. Yesterday morning, we actually attempted to make three different longos produced by three different grinders, and the espresso is actually made from the Breville Barista Pro. Right. So today we are still going to use espresso. Right. So today we're going to test something really basic, which is the kind of espresso tasting profile produced by the Breville Barista Pro using the brewing grinder, using the niche 0, and using the Specialita. So we're going to taste the difference between the three, if there's actually any difference between the three espresso shots that we pull today. Right, so I'm still going to use the Guatemala beans, which I roasted about 10 to 11 days ago. Right, so I'll be dosing 18 gram each and hope to get about 36 gram out. I will try to aim for 30 seconds, but if I don't achieve 30 seconds, then I'll actually aim for 36. Sorry, if I don't achieve 36 gram in 30 seconds, I'll aim for 36 gram rather than a time. Right, so that's what I plan to do today. Right, so same thing, switch on the machine. Right, let's do a proper warm up. Hold until the manual come out, release, let it run for 10 seconds. Right, so the warm up has been done. Okay, let me try this. So yesterday I mentioned that I'll be installing the red color seal inside my brewing grinder for the Breville Barista Pro. So today I'm going to show you. I've actually installed it just now. So let me show you how it looks like. Right, I'm quite sure you can see the seal now. Right, this is actually the red color seal. Right, they seal off all the grooves between the inner core grinder and the external plastic housing of the brewing grinder. So I will be grinding the beans again, right, to show you that there's 0 beans actually stuck in between here. Right. Right, so let's get back to business. Alright, so let's pre-measure 18 grams of beans. So these Guatemala beans are really floral. So by using the conical burr, as I experienced yesterday, right, the conical burr actually bring out the acidity and the fruitiness of the coffee beans, especially the Guatemala coffee beans, and I actually roasted it rather light. So the conical burr is very good at bringing all these taste profile out. As for the flat burr on the Specialita, right, it gives me more of a rounded, less acidic shot as we have tried on the longo yesterday. So today I'm just going to try the pure espresso shots, double shots. Right, let's use my dosing funnel. Right, same thing, my inner burr is still at a setting of 3. My external setting is still at 7. Right, I didn't change any setting yesterday. Activate again. Okay, let me bring you closer to see the grinder again. Okay, there's a bean here, but it didn't get stuck in between the groove, right? So most of them are actually pretty okay, right? So most of the bean has been grinded, so I think this is pretty effective. Right, let me install the blower bag. Right, let me show you the coffee grounded by the brewing grinder. I can see that they are slightly more clumpy, right? I'll show you the grind done by the special niche later on. Right, okay, let me use the fluffinator again to fluff up the coffee ground. Make sure there's no clumping. Normally I like to do a gentle tap. Right, then I will just distribute. Then of course I will just give you a firm tap. Right, so it's perfectly done. Right, let's do the first shot. For the shot, I will bring you closer, right, to use my other camera so that you can see the extraction on the bottlenose portafilter. Okay, so now it's all set. Okay, let me position my camera so that you can see better on the extraction. Okay, I will switch on the light so that you can see the extraction better. Okay, so now again I will hold 7-second custom pre-infusion. Release. Right, you can see a slight channeling and the flow is really fast. Right, so you can see that yesterday I managed to get a decent shot with the inner burr setting of 3 and external burr setting of 7, and today the shot is actually too fast already. Right, so every day, yeah, you have to redial in the bins, right, to get a good shots. So the flow is too fast, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to do a second shot by reducing the grind size slightly on the brewing grinder. Right, which means that okay, let me I don't think I want to taste this shot, right? So let me just dump this away, then I will redial in the bins, right, by adjusting it slightly finer. So now you can see that my fine adjustment is at 7, right? So I will go 2 steps down, right? I'll be going down to 5, right? And let's see how it goes. Remember, only adjust your fine adjustment of the grind size when the hopper is empty, right? Do not adjust this when your hopper is filled with beans. Right, let's try to do that now. Right, so I have reduced my fine adjustment from 7 to 5. Right, so again I will pre-measure another 18 grams. Right, so now what I'm going to do is that oops, you can see that the puck is stuck there. Right, the puck is very dry. Okay, but it's pretty hot. Right, okay, let me flush the portafilter. Right, okay, so let's grind again. Right, the reason why I'm doing that is I want to make sure there's no coffee bean that's stuck inside the burr. Right, okay, you can see I actually managed to purge some of the coffee ground out. Right, so now that's empty. Okay, let's measure 18 grams. Okay, so to show you, right, I will bring the camera closer to the weighing scale. Right, this is now 18 grams. I'm going to check whether the brewing grinder is able to achieve 0 retention as well. So I'm just going to dump it inside. Right, before I do anything, I make sure I have to measure out this thing. Right, so I don't need this attachment. I'll just go directly into this. Right, so I'll make sure I zero this first. Right, then I will grind. I'll do a reactivate the grinder again. Right, okay, so let's measure this. Right, you can see even with me trying to purge out most of the coffee ground just now, right, instead of 18 grams, I'm actually getting about 19 grams. Right, so there's still a bit of retention inside there. So by flattening the cover may not be that effective in getting rid of the coffee ground that's stuck inside the burr. Right, so let me get some of this coffee ground out. Okay, so that's 18 grams. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock up the top chamber, flip it over. Right. Okay, now lock up my portafilter and do a tap, right? Oh, by the way, my my dosing funnel can also be acting as a tamping station. Right, let me show you. Right, so I just have to flip this over. Right, again, I will try to fluff up the ground first. Right, this is the fluffinator. Right, gentle tap. The purpose of doing all this is hope to actually reduce all the channeling. Right, so you can see I can rest my portafilter on the dosing funnel which I've designed. So now I'm just going to do a distribution. Right, and a temp. Right, so let's pull a second shot and see how it goes. Again, I'm switching camera to my Samsung Note 9, right? So This is actually to prevent my Samsung S21 from overheating, so that it give it some time for it to rest. So same thing, I'm going to place the shot glasses underneath, right, and I will try to show you the extractions. Sorry about the alarm. Right, so let me show you. Same thing, I'll pull a 7-second pre-infusion. But there's a slight channeling. Right, you can see that it's still very fast. Right, but I think I'll just stop for the brewing grinder at 2 shots, which I tried my best to dial in. I can actually do it slightly better. Right, but never mind. I think I'll just stop here, and later on I will try the tasting profile of the shot by the brewing grinder. Right. Alright, so this is the first shot made by second attempt in making espresso by the brewing grinder. Right, so I'll be moving on to using the niche, right, to grind. So both the brewing grinder and the niche are conical burr. Well, again, the puck has been stuck there. Right, so today is a bit interesting. 2 times my puck has been stuck. Right, so let's flush. Yesterday and today the espresso shots has been pretty warm, right? So I'm actually pretty happy about the temperature for these 2 days, right? I've been getting pretty hot shots from the Breville Barista Pro. Okay, so now I will still be dosing 18 grams using the niche. Okay, that's about 18 grams. Right, for niche espresso grind, I will usually go about 12. Right, so maybe I'll go by 11.5 today. Right, this is a setless grind, which means I can actually do in between. Right, I always place the cup before I close the cover, because some of us actually switch on the switch before placing the dosing cup here. So end up you will have your coffee ground all over your worktop. Right, so it's done. Okay, let me try to measure this. I get about 18.1 back, so it's exactly the same before I grind and after grind. So it's pretty good as a zero retention grinder. And to see the grind, right, you can see as compared to the quality of the grind from the brewing grinder, right, it's definitely less clumpy. Right, technically there's no clumps at all. Right, same thing, I'll be using the dosing funnel. Right, I will still be using the fluffinator to be fair. Right, actually the ground on the niche is already very fluffy, so actually I don't really need the fluffinator. Right, so gentle tap. distribute, and temp, right? Alright, so let's pull the second shot. This is from the niche grinder. Okay, again, I'm going to switch camera. Okay, so same thing, I'm going to pull a 7-second pre-infusion, and I'll let you see the close up on the bottomless portafilter. 7-second custom pre-infusion. Right, that's about 25-second shot. Right, so I will call these a pretty good shots. Right, I'm extracting at about 40 grams, right, in about 25 seconds. This is still a bit fast, but I think that's acceptable for today. Right, for the third shot, I'm going to use the Eureka Mignon Specialita. Okay, the puck stays in the filter basket. Well, before I knock it, the coffee beans is already out, flush. Right, I usually will clean up my workstation because I'm quite fussy about the cleanliness over my worktop, right? So let's adjust slightly, because it's somehow, maybe it's because of the weather today, right? The grind side has been shifted to the slightly finer side today, and also maybe it has to do with the aging of the beans, right? Today is 11 days since after I've roasted the beans. So still same thing, 18 grams. Right, that's about 18.1. Right, same thing, I will try to see whether there's any coffee ground from the Eureka Mignon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to activate the grinder. This is probably not effective in blowing out, right? I'm not too sure you can see, there's still a bit of coffee ground there. Okay, let's try to see. Okay, so okay, let's see. Okay. Just now I have about 18 grams in, 18.1, right? It gives me about 18 grams out, right? So I would say that the Eureka Mignon is pretty good as a single doser, right? I'll probably 3D design something to install a bellow, which I can actually pump out the remnants of the coffee ground, right? But I think it's pretty, Specialita is doing quite a good job in purging most of the coffee beans out. Coffee ground. Right, same thing, I will lock up the portafilter using my dosing funnel. Oh yeah, never mind. I forgot to show you the quality of the grind. right? So same thing, I will fluff it up. Right, comparing to the brewing grinder versus the Specialita and the niche, right? Definitely the niche and the Specialita is producing a much better fluffy ground, right? The kind of quality of the grind from the brewing grinder that I get is always rather clumpy, right? Right, let's distribute, right, and tap. Okay. Okay, I only have 2 shot glasses, so the third one I'm going to use a glass that's like that. Right, so again I'm going to switch the camera. Right, so this will be the last shot I'm going to pull today. Right, will be on the coffee grinded by the Specialita. Right, so same thing, I'm going to bring you closer to see the quality of the shot from the bottomless portafilter. Press and hold 7-second pre-infusion. Okay, that's 30 seconds. Right, and let's check the... Oh, okay. So you can see that I've only extracted about 22-23 grams of shots. So, which means to say, that I may have adjusted too fine. Okay, but never mind, let's taste the coffee. Right, so these are the 3 shots that I made this morning. Right, okay, so now this is the time whereby I'll be tasting the shot from the 3 different produced by the 3 different grinder. Right, so I'll line them in order. Right, the first one may be a bit cooler as compared to the rest, but I'm just trying to taste the profile, right, which may be affected by temperature, right, but this is the best I can do, right. So let me go for the first shot, which is actually the shot produced by the brewing grinder. Right, I didn't really properly dial in on the grinder, right, because the grind size somehow runs off from yesterday. So cheers. Oh, it's very bright. Not bitter at all. Right, so because the Guatemala beans is actually the fruity and the acidic type, right? So the acidity is actually pleasant. Right, there is a body, but the body, okay, I have to drink the second one to compare the body of the shots, but it's definitely very bright, sweet. Okay, let me try the second one. Right. Okay, cheers, the second shot. This is from the niche grinder. Oh. It is still very bright, but again, the niche somehow bring, okay, yesterday I used the word edgy, right? It is still the same thing, right? The shot quality from the brewing grinder is more, it's more edgy, it's a bit sharp, you know, it's not as smooth and rounded as compared to the quality of the shot I get from the niche, right? Even though I'm pulling the same shot by using the same machine, but with a different grinder, I can taste the difference in the shot quality. the acidity is much more pleasant as compared to the one by the brewing grinder. It's actually less acidic as compared to the brewing grinder. Acidity is still there, but it's less acidic, and the whole espresso just feel more rounded. Oh, and it's very sweet as well, so this is actually a very pleasant shot. Right, so this is the second shot from the niche grinder. So come to the last shot done by the Eureka Mignon Specialita. Right, this is still very hot. So cheers. Whoa. Very interesting. It is consistent with what I have achieved yesterday. The acidity level drops. It is still bright here, but it's less acidic as compared to the shot I get from the niche, and the body is fuller, right? The body is very full. It is still very smooth and very rounded, less acidity. It's a pretty good shot, and it's very sweet, right? Let me taste the niche one again. Yep, this one is more acidic than the one produced by the Eureka Mignon. So again, as for espresso, right, my personal opinion is I still prefer the Specialita over the niche on the kind of espresso that's made. Not because it is a better grinder, but the kind of espresso that I'm looking for, right, is the kind that's a balance between sweetness and acidity, and I think the Specialita achieved that, while the niche zero grinder actually somehow produced it is still a very rounded, very balanced shot, but it swings towards a more floral and the citrus side of the quantum beans, whereas the Specialita produce a more rounded, more mellow, yeah, this is the kind of espresso that I'll be expecting, right? Yeah, so perhaps if I'm going for espresso, purely espresso grind, I'll probably go for the Specialita, right? So this is so far my observation over the 2 days. Yesterday I did the longo, right, and today I did just the pure espresso, and this is my finding, right? So I hope you have enjoyed making coffee with me this morning, right? This now is only about 7:10 a.m. in the morning, right? So it's very early, and I'll be going to work pretty soon. And again, this is CY, right? My channel is all about having fun making coffee, and I hope you have enjoyed the espresso journey today with me with 3 different grinders. And if you like my videos, remember to subscribe to my channels, like my videos, and share the video content to your friend who is also a fellow coffee lover, right? So thank you for watching, and have a great day.